Hello everyone, this is Janice, and today I'm here to show you a Mother's Day card that I just made this morning, and I just wanted to share it and I wanted to do a tutorial on it. The idea for the card came from a card that my dear friend Robin made for me. She made this card, and see how she folded that back? As soon as I saw that, I knew I wanted to make a card like that because I have never made a card where you fold part of it back. And that just totally inspired me. And then she gave me a set of stamps from Making Memories. I don't know where she got it. I think she said something about placing an order. I'm not sure where, but she got these for me. And so the one I'm using is that one right there, because I love that look. So let's get started. The first thing that we're going to do is do some cutting. I've already got the butterfly. You saw this butterfly. It's from my Stampers' Best butterfly set that I got from Stampers' Best. I was looking for the little card, but I'm not sure where it is. So anyway, it's in a previous video, so you can go to that Stampers' Best haul if you want to see the rest of the set. But it's beautiful, and I'm so happy that I bought it. Very happy with my purchase. Here, this is what I can do. I'll show you. I cut out my Stampers' Best stamps. These are the military sentiments, and here's that brick wall one that I got, and then here's all the butterflies, and that's that one. Okay, so I'm happy with this card, by the way, that these are hanging on. They really stay very well, and it's a good it's nice and stiff. So if I could only find the binder that I bought at the thrift store, I would be in business. I just don't know where I put it. I'm losing my mind lately. I don't know what's going on with me. So anyway, let's go ahead and cut out this leaf. I want to show you so that you know how to do it. Okay. My friend Robin had a great idea when she said this would be a great set to have, and I'm glad that I did. So I think she's going to be getting into Spellbinder dies, so I thought I would just show her. Now this paper I'm using today, I've never used the paper from, what do you call it, from Papertrey ink for this, so we'll see how it does, because it's really thick. The Georgia Pacific paper that's also 110 pound from Walmart, it's the same weight, but it really doesn't feel like it's as stiff as this one. Maybe it's just the way it's made. I don't know. So I'm going to just try the Papertrey ink because I have this piece that has a smudge in it, so I probably wouldn't use it for a card base, even though that could be. Anyway, I'm using it. Okay. I'm going to cut this out. So what I did was I put the A plate, then the C plate, then the die with the cutting edge up. Then you put your paper. Then you put the plate that you have for cutting. Now mine is all warped, and that's just what happens to them after a while, after you've been cutting for a while. I've had this plate for quite a long time. And so there you hear that cracking. That's just the die doing its work. And that's it. Now if you wanted to emboss this, I think, and I can never remember what you do, but I think all you do is do the same thing, but you just put the embossing, see it's got a hard time going through. But maybe it's actually the other way. I think I got it. You put, let's see if this actually works. I can never, see, that just doesn't seem like it's tight enough. I threw away the paper that has the instructions for embossing, so I know one of you out there knows what to do. Can you help me? I don't remember. I'm going to put a shim this time. It's just not tight enough. when I do it like this, it's going through, but it's just not nearly tight enough to actually emboss the paper. Let's try one other thing. I don't think this is going to work. That's just too tight. Oh wait, maybe that's it. Let's see if it works. It's not, still not tight enough. What I did was A plate, B plate, this, then the rubber gasket, then a shim, and this is this thin chipboard, like what's on the back of your paper when you buy paper packs. I'm going to put a second one. This is going to do it. Yeah, this will do it. See, that's nice and tight. That will definitely do it. There we go. So we've got a nicely embossed leaf. That's how you do it. So A plate, in review, A plate, B plate, the die with the paper still in it, your rubber gasket, and then your B plate again. And that'll do it. And I'll show you now. Just be careful. These little stems are very thin, so you'll rip it if you're not gentle. And again, this is the Paper Tray Ink white. So see that? How pretty? Okay, now I didn't do that on my original card. On my original card, I just cut. So I'm going to make another one with just the cutting. Put my cutting plate on there. I'm not getting rid of this plate until it doesn't work at all. I'm just going to run it through one more time, and then we will break it out of there. I'll use this again in a second. Okay. Yeah, be very careful. Alright, so there we go. Okay. There goes my phone. I'll get back to whoever it is. They'll probably call me on my cell phone next. Alright, let's get this. This is my craft mat. And what I used is the Hampton Art stamp, background stamp that Robin got me from Michaels. I love it. Love this stamp, Robin. Absolutely love it. Thank you so much. And I'm inking it with peeled paint, Distress ink. If you're watching this on Thursday, May 3rd, Blitsy has Distress inks right now. I don't remember if peeled paint was one of them. Okay, and so you see there, I've got that nice background. And I'm going to use what's left over on the mat. Make sure we don't waste it. And get a little bit more here on the pad, and then I'm just gonna kind of pounce it on there because, like I said, this is so thin that if you try to do the whole circle motion, it bends the leaves and stems, and you might even break them. Okay, so there we go. And if you wanted more, you can just pick it up and do more. And this is the one that we will actually use on our card. And I want to show you this one. This one, we're going to do the same treatment, but we're going to spritz it with water. Because I want you to see what Distress Ink does when you get it wet. Okay, so quickly we will spritz it with a little bit of water. And then you see that ink start to spread out. So cool. So cool. I love that. And then we can pick it up, and if you wanted to add more, you could turn it over on there and just spread it around. And then we'll just wipe it down with a cloth. And then I like to dry it with my heat tool. Okay, and then I have another piece that I need to ink up. Let's see if this is dry. Okay, and so, see? Alright, so I'll probably use that on one of the cards. I got a few. These are Mother's Day cards, but obviously, you know, they could be birthday cards or, you know, whatever. Now I've got this little tag here that I made from Once Upon a Princess, and I cut it at 1.5 inches. This is the main tag, and then this is the shift. And you can use them separately, but I like that look of that layered tag. So what I'm going to do is use this stamp again. But this time I'm going to do a second generation stamp. If you're not familiar with that term, what that means is that you ink up your, got a piece of fiber there, you ink up your stamp, and then you stamp it down on a piece of scrap paper, and then you stamp it, and you get a lighter image. I just wanted it to be kind of a faint image. I didn't want that dark. And then I will ink up the edges, and I will go over the whole thing, give it a nice lighter green look. And then on that I'm going to do some stamping. I'm going to stamp my sentiment, which is Happy Mother's Day, and it comes from the Mom You Rock My Creative Time with Emma stamp set. And it's her website is www.creativetimeforme.com. You can order her stamps from there. She has tons to choose from. So I'm going to use the Tuxedo Black, the Memento Tuxedo Black, and I'm going to just kind of eyeball it. And then to that I'm adding a little flower that I punched with this Studio G little punch. I think I got this at Walmart. And so I'm just going to add a tiny bit of glue. Just a dot of glue. It's clogged, so to do that. And then, yeah, just add a little dot of glue. And then add a little dot of glue to the flower, and add the bling to that, which I'm trying to find. Show you. These little bling that come on the little glue strip, I just take them off of the glue strip because I don't like those little pieces hanging off, so I just take it off and just stick it on there. Alright. So now our little tag is done, and then this will go here in the center of that piece, which actually I'm going to ink just a little bit. And you know, you could run this, you could even take it a step further and run it through your embossing, you know, and emboss it, one of the embossing folders. I actually did that. This is the same tag that I used on my little book. See that there? But I did some embossing on it just to add a little more oomph to it. I just cut a bunch of those, like I cut like 8 of them so that I could use them on my projects. Just gonna put the adhesive right there and center it. Okay, and then what I did to this to just, again, just embellish it. You can never have too much bling. So we're taking the crystal, and this one's almost empty. And I really didn't want to put that much like that. I just take it and I kind of squeeze it, but now it's coming out in a big clump. I don't know why. I just kind of run it like that so it's nice and thin. Not a big like globs of glue, just a little tiny bead. What I'm going to do is I'm going to wipe that off. It's too much. Look at that. Okay, well that's alright. That'll do it. So that'll dry while we're making the rest of our card. I usually do that at the end, but I didn't want to forget. Okay, let's wipe this up so we don't get ink on the rest of our project. Alright, now for the card base. And let's put all of these pieces together so we don't forget. And our butterfly. Okay. Now the other thing I did, something, like I said, something else Robin gave me was this stamp. So I just stamped a row of these with my chicken feed, Jenny Bolin ink. And it's not long enough for my whole card, so you have to stamp it twice. Side by side, not the whole length of it, just, and then I just take my scissor and literally cut it, fussy cut it. Not my favorite thing to do. Then I take my Bic Market, and this is not the right orange, but that's okay because it gives it kind of a blended look. And I'm just going along and just doing the edges. Not a necessary step, I wouldn't say. You don't have to do that. In fact, next time I make this card, I'm not even cutting this out. I'm just going to cut a straight. And that's it. Okay. So, there's another element for our card. Then there's this piece. I'll tell you, well, here's the pieces. I'll tell you what their sizes are. Get rid of some stuff here. Okay, we've got an A2 size card, which is basically made up of a half of an 8.5 by 11. So this is cut at 5 1/4, and then it ends up being 5 1/4 by 8.5, and then we're going to score it with my Score Buddy. I love it. And I'm just going to score, I'm going to score it as if I'm making a standard size card, which is that little asterisk there is for standard card. Okay. And then here, I'm going to score it at 7/8. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. It's the little notch before the 1 inch. Or you could do it at the 1 inch. So that's just what I did. Okay, and that makes that little fold. Then we got to go back to our, oh wait, and then we have some more scoring to do. Let's do it all at once. And then the other thing we need to store is the lining for the inside of the card, which is right here, this blue. And I cut this piece, okay, in a minute. It's 2 1/4, I'm sorry, scratch that. 7 1/4 by 5 1/4 right here. And then I made a score mark at 3 1/4. Okay, so 3 1/4 is right here. Okay, so that's for the lining inside. So we've got that ready to go. I just put that on my wet glitter glue. Alright. Okay. Now, for this piece right here, I cut that at 5 1/4 by 3, and that piece is going to go right here. But I ran that through the Cuttlebug, so let's go ahead and do that. Get our Cuttlebug back here. Get our 2B plates and our 8 plate and the polka dots embossing folder. This is the larger of those embossing folders that Purple Craft put out. These don't fit in your texture boutique if you have a texture boutique. Just wanted to make sure you know that. Because that's just a smaller machine. So then I would just use the Swiss dots because that one fits. So there we go. What else did I need to emboss? Anything else? Oh yes, yes, we've got to emboss. One more thing. I bought these Pop Culture embossing border embossing folders, and I'm using this diamond one. And all you do is you put it wherever you want to emboss a. I'm trying to think how I want it. I want it this way. So you just take it and then you just run it, and I just kind of try to center it there and run it through your machine. And that's all you do. Okay. I'll just get rid of the rest of this stuff. I think I'm done with the embossing machine, and there we go. Okay, so let's put it together. So this piece right here goes kind of lined up on this side, because this side's just going to fold over. So we'll do that. And of course this would be a good time to ink up the edges of your papers and all of that. But I didn't want to do that. Are you okay, Adrian? Okay. No. What did I do? I got ink on my paper. I don't know how I did that. Okay, well, carry on. And then we're going to add that here. And then this piece goes like this, because I want it to stick out like that. So what we'll do is we'll run, yeah, that's right. We'll run our glue or our adhesive like this. And then we will put our little border. Love these stamps, Robin, thank you. And then we will do this. And there we go. And this piece right here goes inside for a liner because I wanted this to stand out. See that? So all I did here is just added some adhesive on the one end. And I learned this at the Operation Right Home website. They had suggestions for when you make dark card bases. They said just to make sure to put a liner inside so that the soldiers can write, because sometimes all they have is a pencil. So if you put a dark, if you make it with a dark card base, you can't see pencil. They said to make sure you line your cards. And I liked this idea of lining it like that. Alright, now for the rest of our card. Now we're going to put together our little leaf. Goes there. And I'm going to put this up a little higher this time. And this is going to go down here. I'm trying to see if I can camouflage that. Kind of, sort of. It's okay. It's a handmade card. I'll probably just keep that one as a sample. Now this glue is not coming out. Clogged again. Yeah, this may be my longest video yet. Okay. No commercials though. Then the third one I'm going to put down with my glue dots that I make from Aleene's. Tack it over and over again. Just put a few. Okay. And I like to curl up the leaves so it looks, like a real butterfly. To give it dimension. And I'm going to put the glue here, the adhesive here, since my stickles may still be wet. I want that butterfly kind of over the tag a little bit. And then what I did to add just a little more sparkle, here's my original, was I took this and just added some stickles to the body of the butterfly, and then everywhere where there's a diamond I just filled it in with some of this crystal stickles. And I forgot the inside of the card. You may or may not know, I've decided that I'm going to make it easier for my recipients of my cards to reuse my cards. So I decided I would use sticky notes or just a piece of paper cut down to the size and then put some repositionable adhesive. So I have my little piece here for this card. It's 3.5 by 4 3/4. And I got a little ink on the back of this one, so I'm going to erase those measurements. But I am going to stamp it with a little butterfly. Let's see here. Where is it? Here's my memento. Okay. I'm going to stamp it down here. And then I'm just going to color it in, just to give it a little more interest. This one is Sunset Orange. I used a lighter orange on my sample, the first one I made, but this is fine. And then all I do is put this Scotch repositionable glue stick on the inside. That way the person can take my little note out once they've read it, and maybe they want to put it in their smash book if they do the smash book thing, and then use the card again. I don't mind if people use my cards again. See? And you just put it back in there. And that's it. So thanks for watching my super long video. Bye.